Thank you. Fellow guests, fellow Toastmasters, thank you for your reception. My speech this evening, Overseas Weddings, Pain or Pleasure. So I'm going to explore the pain, and maybe the pleasure, around getting married overseas. This is something that I went through myself about 7 or 8 years ago now. I decided to marry my lovely wife, who's Romanian. Having been to a number of English weddings, which were, quite frankly, a little bit dull, my wife said, oh, we should get married in my home country. They're fantastic, massive party, you'll have a really good time. So, throwing caution to the wind, I said, yes, why not? Let's go for it. Set the date, and thought everything else would be easy. Until I started doing a bit of research. What does this involve? So, onto the website, Foreign Office, British embassies. Now I find out that I need to provide a certificate that says I'm eligible to get married. I was like, this is a little bit bizarre. So I visit the council and says, oh, I need the certificate. Oh, you need a birth certificate. Okay, I don't have a birth certificate. So I sent off for my birth certificate. I only had some kind of certified copy. Got a nice letter back saying, we don't have a birth certificate for you. However, here is your adoption certificate. Fortunately, I actually knew I was adopted at the time, but if I didn't, that would have been a bit of a shock. So I had this adoption certificate, and then I needed a passport. So I took all this to the registrar office in Croydon, had to create an affidavit. Then they had to post my banns, which is what you traditionally do in church, on a notice board outside of their office in Croydon Council. So this has to stay up 2 weeks, which gives everybody who may object to me getting married the chance to submit their objection to the council. Fortunately, no one actually objected, although I'm not sure actually anyone knew that this was there, but anyway, I wasn't going to tell anybody. So no one objected, so I went back 2 weeks later and got the certificate. I thought, great, I can now get married. Woohoo! Bit more research, going over to Romania. I now need to present the certificate to the British Embassy. Fantastic. Of course, pay a fee as well. All these things involve a fee. Present the certificate, right, we need your birth certificate, yeah, here you go. Oh, it needs to be translated. Okay, so we have to find a translation in Romania to translate it, they have to certify it, pay another fee, and take it back to them and say, yeah, okay, birth certificate, passport, certificate, right. Now you need to pay us a fee, and we'll translate the whole lot for you and then give you the Romanian certificate. Okay, yeah, it's another fee. It's like there's a bit of a trend appearing here. So this kind of covered the kind of British legal side. The next step was the Romanian side. So as I was marrying a Romanian national, there's a kind of a similar process. I have to post some kind of intention to marry at the town hall, and this has to be done 6 weeks in advance of your wedding. Fortunately, my wife already knew this in advance, so she says, yep, I'll sort that out, I'll post the intentions, of course, pay a fee, get some kind of stamp. There's also some strange thing about planting a tree. I was like, this is a bit bizarre. So we have to have some tree planted somewhere and get some book stamped to say that we've had this tree planted before we get married. But anyway, it's like, I don't know what that's about. But so we did it all anyway. Then I have to have a medical. So am I medically okay to marry my fiancée? It's like, what's that all about? Surely we just want to get married, right? It's like, no, you need a doctor's certificate and a blood test to say that you're clean of any kind of diseases and that may impact your marriage and your children. Fortunately, the way things work in Romania at that time, this was sort of 8-9 years ago, is that as long as you turned up to your doctors with a big bunch of flowers and maybe a bottle of wine and maybe a few notes, you could actually get the certificate without having to actually take any tests. So I was like, no, I'll take the test, fine, that's good, I'll take the test. No, don't be silly. We'll just pay the doctor. I was like, are you sure? Yes, just pay, bring some cash, bring a bunch of flowers, yeah, she'll be fine. So along we both went, doctor's waiting room, me holding the flowers, bottle of wine. This all seems a little bit strange. So went to the doctors, she was all fine, congratulations, blah, 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 well done, here's your certificate, thank you for the flowers, chocolates and the cash, thank you, So got this, they have this little book and you get all these stamps and you get the stamp that you've paid the fee, you get the stamp from the town hall that you've had. It's like collecting stamps and all these official stamps. Eventually, You can book your wedding at the town hall, which is effectively like a reception type thing. You can't have a church wedding until you're legally married. So first you get your legal ceremony, so you go to the town hall, have your kind of reception, your guests or maybe close family, get your official wedding certificate, then you can start thinking about having your actual wedding. And the wedding itself, well, that's an entirely different story, and that's a topic for a future talk. So, overseas weddings may sound fantastic, but boy, is there a lot of red tape. Okay, thank you very much.